Okay, well, it being a new day, I notice I made mistakes, at least in planning. For the humans here, they turned in their token and bought just one Vol Silk here. Now, they could have done that last turn. So like the E-Beeps, Blue has wasted a turn. That's a horrible thing. You catch yourself doing that, making that kind of decision, whatever, you've screwed yourself up significantly in the game. Especially in this race period where you're trying to grab stuff. Anyway, I could not come up with a valuable combination of stuff that I wanted to buy, right? I could have bought, I had enough cash to buy whatever single thing I liked, including, I think, a combined drive. Maybe not, those are they 200 or 300? Combined drive is 300 bucks. That allows you to skip all red and yellow spaces. That's pretty potent. You can move very, very fast. But it doesn't help you if you don't have some product on board. It would help slide through here and grab some of this stuff though, so it might have been an interesting idea, but I didn't have enough money for that. All I had money for was the one thing. I could have traded in and gotten that. I thought I was going to buy factories and this, that, and the other, or something. I don't know. Maybe I sold something here. And that's why I sort of lost a turn. I don't know. Anyway, over here to the yellow player, they also sold their one object. Now they have a pile of money, but here's the problem. If they buy, oh, we got a new demand show up on an culture that's not on the board yet. They'll show up eventually and that demand will be with them. Here's the problem. I don't have anything that I clearly want to buy here. Let's say I bought some Winham stuff. Now maybe I want to buy some tech and I'll look at that. But if I bought some of this impossible furniture, where would I take it? That's the big question. I kind of want to go exploring. There's nowhere really near to go exploring. The only things that are close to me, 8 would bring me to 9, 10, 1. So I could haul it here. So yeah, and in fact, that must be what Blue did. Blue must have sold. Okay, so yeah, I do wanna buy some of that. I'll pick some of that stuff up. I wasn't seeing this, and that puts me more in the direction where I'll have a choice to go either this way or this way, which means whichever way Blue doesn't choose, I may get something. Cool enough. Yellow's choice does kind of highlight they had 220 bucks, enough to buy 2 impossible furnitures, fill their haul. Seems great since I can sell it right here in the direction I'm going, but alternatively, it meant passing on the yellow drive, really. I don't want to buy a new ship here, but the yellow drive at 80 bucks would give me some additional speed, leave a cargo hold open maybe. Nice option, but when you fall into 2 deliveries, you might as well haul it. Eventually it becomes hard. The tokens of the commodities become perhaps kind of scarcer on the board as more and more of them are being replaced by these demand shits. So you kind of want to make your money while you can. You can go back and get your technology later. At least that's my feeling. Some people might want to go tech right away. Haven't seen that work well though. And whipping around to the other players, the E-Beeps picked up some of their factory goods. Second turn there, they bought the factory last turn. They don't have enough cash to do anything else of value. These very expensive items there. They used their chip, I think, to grab the factory goods and then got the kickback. Red, Quasa had to sit here? No, they landed there. They got their token. They didn't buy anything, it looks like. Their token's only worth 90. Everything that they can buy is worth 60 or way more. For the Cholos here, it's 200 bucks for the factory, 200 bucks for a space station. Neither of them do they really have the money for. So they're looking at buying a couple of products, and maybe this is a little feather. That's the only place you can get a shield, right? Other than the Galactic Base? No, the Galactic Base you can only get ships. Shield technology is really nice. It allows you to ignore 20 bucks of hazards in each space. and it also provides the same kind of defense in combat, which means you can just buzz around things like this, and you can sail around here fairly easily. It's a nice little advantage. So they're probably going to buy goods as well as a shield. The Wynnum chose not to buy. They have a full hold sitting here. They need to find a 3, 4, or 5. Well, 5 was right back here. They didn't want to sail through this and try to get there. So they want to try to go exploring, get the advantages of exploring, but they've got no place they can sell this stuff. Now, they could just dump it, but that's money. You don't want to do that. So they didn't have much they could do with the Zum. They couldn't buy any new stuff for their holds. They didn't want to spend $200 on a factory they can't even use. So they went forward. And then the Knicks, well, after a totally useless trip, they're back here at Dell, probably in last place now. They bought themselves some of this finest dust at $10 a piece. Basically, that's what they should have done before, and now they got to find a 5, 6, or 7 to land it at. Well, the 6 is a hidden place, so they might come down in this way looking for it. The 5's up here. They could deliver it and make some nice ratio of cash. For $20 investment, they pull in $100. But it's net profit that's important in this game, not the ratio that you make. You have your cargo limitations, so you can't just haul everything, you know, as much finest dust as you like, even though it makes the best ratio. So yeah, they've got kind of a choice there. They've got kind of a tough thing because here, if they roll... First of all, they have to cut through this navigation hazard. This is very difficult to move through. If they roll a 2, they can make it out this way. If they roll a 3, they head up this way and then out this way. That doesn't get them where they want to go, up to Sheena. Heading down this way, they're going to need a 1 or a 6. They could have landed here and started here, and it would have meant a chance of getting out. But if they roll a 1, they end up sailing out here to the Valois. That doesn't do them any good, I don't think. And if they roll a 6, they hit a navigation hazard. Alternatively, heading this way, not so good. They need a 5 to hit here. Once you get into these little navigation things, it's painful. A possible escape, though, is right here. They could hit this, and then if they have a 6, they could jump over here. They didn't have a 6 on their roll, so they couldn't use the Telegate to get them into uncharted territory. But maybe next turn. Alright, another time around. I'm going to try to highlight more on interesting choices that are a little different. At this point, Blue has made the interesting choice. They sailed into here. They could have gone down this way instead. They had dice that would allow them either way. What they've chosen is to turn in their bonus for this, which was I think it was just $100 for the bonus. I don't remember. It's 6. Yeah, they don't tell you there. They tell you here that it was just $100. But for $120, they bought themselves a red drive. Now, that's a great idea in terms of, hey, I get to skip all the red spaces. I'm going to be able to move faster. I'll be able to slide through places like this without getting hit by the navigational hazards. I've got this down below me. The one space that I'm looking for, well, I need 2, 3, 4. 2 is way up here. I'm not going to head there, but I've got a couple of hits possible. This will help me explore a little quicker. The other option would, of course, be to buy some more product. 6 means 7, 8, 9. There are none of them in the exploration zone, which means for me to sell this product, I'd have to hit known territory. Okay, so I've got a free hold, and that's the big determinant here. Because the red drive takes up half a hold space. Now I can put a passenger in the other half, but there are no passengers on the board available to me right now. So this is going to help my exploration tactics. It's going to increase my speed. It's going to get me places quicker, and it doesn't really cost me anything at this point. Of course, by having that, I may want to sell it at half price at some time because it is taking up valuable hold, or I may worry about advancing my ship. Now, where I am right now, I could have bought a Clipper ship, which gives me extra dice. I don't think that's as good as being able to skip red dots, because skipping red dots allows me to skip penalties like this. Plus, I'm thinking about trading up with this red drive, especially to a freighter or a transport, which means I pay the hit for buying ships too many times. You only want to do that once. Of course, that's no worse than like skipping a turn probably, but whatever. Alright. So once you get into these little navigation loops, to me the game becomes just this tremendous headache. It's as bad as the counting aspect. I just rolled dice for the white guy. 15. Now don't get me wrong, I enjoy this game, but man, I hate this part. And it's enough of the game that I think it overall drops my rating down to, hey, this was kind of a cool shits and giggles game too. It's a cool shits and giggles game with a lot of annoyance factor. Now, we'll see. But 15, I picked this as my first space. I had intentions of maybe heading down here. And again, I got to do counting of a sort here because I have a 7, so that means 8, 9, 10. Now I got to look for all of those around here. There's one here, one here. I was kind of planning on heading up this way and either going this way or this way. I can't do either of them because of my die rolls. 6, 6, 3. Well, if I can't enter here, basically. Which means I've got to find some new route now that I wasn't counting on. And now I've got so many options because of these forks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now on the 6 side, I've got to count my 15 this way. Then I've got to look, all 3, that's not going to help me. So I've got this route. And then I've got this route, which is going to follow the 3 side. And I've got to take that route if I take the 3. And then I've got this, which is kind of painful, but gets me close to there for not much. All these kind of decisions that, you know, so many forks, so many branches. As long as you stay away from the center navigation hazards, the game is, I think, fun and easy. These things kind of add the complexity that maybe some people like, but man, I hate counting. And what it means is I gotta count and count and count, and I can't remember anything about where I am and what I have in mind already. And I really despise that. I didn't have to go through so much work. By the time I made it down, I took my first path down here. I see, oh, I gotta pay 20 bucks. That's good enough. I'm in on a new culture. I get to peek at it. That's good enough location. Whatever I would have tonked around with up there that was my original plan actually may have been worse. Anyway, I got to peek at this. It's not going to be terribly useful to me, but it does get me down here first. Nobody else has an easy route here. This guy does zipping through here. But it puts me in an interesting position. Good news. Sometimes you luck out and you don't have to do all that counting. Because this I know is better than any other opportunity that I have. But it's frustrating as hell once everything's out and there are no clean, good opportunities and you have to, balance everything even after you've done all your thinking on your turn. Yeah, I want to go here or here. I should be able to do that. And you get a roll that foils you. Red's IOU and all their cash allowed them to buy 2 designer jeans, commodity, and a shield. The shield gets to go on the hull. It doesn't have to fill up any drive space, and that'll allow them to ignore up to 20 points of hits in each space. Well, that means they can sail through most of this stuff for free. Shield's a nice little add-on. The Wyndham managed to sell their, I don't remember what it is, glorious junk or whatever. They found area Culture 3, the Knicks. They were delivering stuff from Culture 2. They got lucky there. They got the IOU for it. They got 200 bucks for what they sold. And they found a feather, which means they can buy shields. They also drew, and this was kind of an annoyance factor again, a demand marker. Demand markers tell you where they go. Well, here's the problem. Because the board changes all the time, and again, I don't know what you can do with this. This is kind of like, Magic Realm where the board is changing. It's not trivial to find the cultures again. So you look up 7B, okay, where's that? Again, just this to me, I don't mind so much because it's less of a headache, but there are a lot of these headachy features in this game that take away from the really fantastic aspects of it that I think a lot of people really love. For me, the negatives kind of counterbalance the positives so much that it's particularly bad in solo, but even in multiplayer, I just kind of want to not think too hard and not really worry about this game as much as some people want to, because although it provides a strong competitive backdrop, the things you have to do are just too obnoxious to me to do it, and I don't want to help out like by finding things, because that's a headache too. And so green finishes things up sailing in here. This is not where they wanted to go. They wanted to land here, but their die roll didn't let them. And this is the cool part of these navigational errors. You know, you're heading down this way. You had to choose your first dot. Okay, I didn't get to go in either direction that got me here or anywhere interesting. I had to be vectored up here. And now, well, I can sell there anyway, so I'll dump it and make some quick money. And now I have to start looking for how am I going to get out of here. And we know there's already a path heading this way into either of these two. However, there's a problem. You got to roll a 5 to get this way. You got to roll a 4 to get that way. Any other number sends you kind of to stupid places you don't want to go. That's okay. That's the fun of the game. The problem is how many stupid options you have to trace out after you make your check.